You know what bothers me so much? I love the Mario Kart 8 roster, but I also really don't at the same time. I feel as though this roster, even though it is the biggest in the Mario Kart history, it feels as though there's just, I don't know, there's something wrong with it. Like, I feel like there's some characters that just shouldn't be there, and there's some characters that I definitely believe should be. Don't get me wrong, the DLC definitely helped make this roster so much better, but I would argue that some of these characters should have been there in the first place over a lot of the ones that were, already there. And I know the booster course pass isn't finished as there's 2 character slots remaining, but I don't know, 2 slots? I can think of 5 characters that can easily be in this game. With 2 slots remaining, I can only pick 2 of the 5. Bearing such disappointment in the Mario Kart roster, I decided to make a video making the definitive, most perfect Mario Kart roster by any standards. Of course, keeping the character count the exact same as displayed here in the booster course pass. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually go by rows and get rid of characters or just kind of group them. And I want to do that basically by saying that characters like Tanuki Mario and Cat Peach should definitely be grouped underneath of Mario and Peach. They shouldn't be their own characters, they should kind of be like sub-characters for those characters, not like their own individual characters in the first place. Now some of you might call this cheating, but as far as I'm concerned, if Yoshi can have like 9 different ults, or I guess 8 different ults, then I don't understand why Mario can't have 1 or 2. I mean, he is the main character after all. As for the second row, I think this is actually perfect. This row might be the best in the entire game. Moving on to the third row, I'm going to get rid of like half of these baby characters. I don't think Baby Peach, Baby Daisy, and Baby Rosalina should be there in the first place, only because, I don't know, I don't think they really add anything to anything. I'm sorry for any of you who main these characters, but yeah, I would completely get rid of them. Same thing with Metal Mario and Pink Gold Peach. I mean, Metal Mario I think might be okay, but Pink Gold Peach definitely needs to go because this is a completely irrelevant character, and I don't care for her. After getting rid of more than half of the third row, I think the fourth row might be okay. Same thing with the second row, these 2 rows are great. Same thing with the fifth, and I also believe the sixth row is okay. So after that, I think the Mario Kart roster is looking pretty good to me. Now it's time to do the fun part and add in the characters that I would like to see. So after getting rid of all of those characters, we're left with 7 slots, but I guess 9 if you count the 2 blank ones given by the booster course pass. So I'm going to add in 9 more characters that I believe would be great for the Mario Kart roster. The first 3 characters I would add are Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong, and Funky Kong. The reason why I would start with these 3 is just because knowing that there's only 2 slots left in the booster course pass, I know one of these 3, definitely one of them, is not making in. I feel confident that Diddy and Funky actually will end up being the last 2 characters, but I'm also wondering, like, why is one of them just going to be left out? And I mean, Funky Kong's been in the Wii version of Mario Kart, so it wouldn't be that insane to see him here. And same thing goes for Diddy Kong, who was in Mario Kart Wii, Double Dash, and Mario Kart Tour. However, when it comes to Dixie Kong, her only appearance in a Mario Kart game ever was in Mario Kart Tour, and I feel like that's kind of a slight to this popular character. If the roster was bigger, I would have loved to put in the entire Kong family, but I feel as though I want to stick to other important characters that I definitely believe deserve their time in the spotlight and being in Mario Kart. Following these 3, the next character I would like to add is Nabbit. Now, he's been in Mario Kart before, with that being Mario Kart Tour, but outside of that, he's made no Mario Kart appearances. And he's a semi-new character to the series anyway, so it's not really a surprise he's not really in anything. But even still, I feel as though this kind of obscure character would be great to have in a game like Mario Kart because it gives him more of a chance to become more popular. Also, maybe it's just me, but I love having tons of villains in Mario Kart. It makes it just feel a little bit more, I don't know, broad. Like, it's not just a bunch of, like, happy-go-lucky characters, but it's also, like, the evil ones, too, which makes it cool. Which is also why my next character is King Babam. Now, King Babam is actually one of my personal favorite villains in the Mario series anyway, just because I love the way his character design is. Like, it's literally just a ball with a mustache. I mean, even to the untrained eye, I think you can easily mistake him for the Pringles mascot, but even still, King Babam is so cool to me just because that first fight you have with him in Super Mario 64, I don't know, it just felt so interesting to me, you running around and throwing him and stuff like that. And I feel as though a character like that, who was one of the first big bosses for a Mario 3D game, would easily be a great character to show up here, and I think he could be a lot of fun to play as too. I mean, the thing is, this character is not that, like, crazy to get in the first place either, because he is in other Mario spin-offs like Mario Golf Super Rush, and as far as I know, he's also in Mario Kart Tour. So, him appearing here wouldn't be out of pocket, and I think it'd be really cool to see anyway. Although I might be a little biased, because King Babam might be one of my favorite Mario villains outside of, like, Bowser and PD Piranha. He's just so cool to me, and I don't really know why. Him showing up in the Mario movie easily made my day, but I'd like to see him show up here in Mario Kart 8. The sixth character on my list is Professor Egad, and the reason why I think he would be so essential is because I feel as though with him, you're allowed to access the extended Mario universe. Every single character you see within the Mario Kart 8 roster is basically just from the Super Mario series, and you might say King Boo isn't, but even then, his design isn't even from Luigi's Mansion. They just have it as like the regular basic Boo design with a crown on it. I really do wish there were alternate versions of King Boo in this game where like you can choose to have the Dark Moon King Boo or the Luigi's Mansion 3 King Boo, which are basically the same thing, but even still, this basic Boo with a crown on it is definitely not something Luigi's Mansion has ever used before. So I feel as though there really is no Luigi's Mansion character in the game outside of, well, Luigi, but even then, he's more of a Super Mario character though. But I think Professor Egad would be a great addition just for that reason alone. I mean, outside of him being a really cool character and also just visually looking much different than everybody else on here, that's really all I gotta say about him. My last character before we get to the last two booster course character slots is Pauline. Now, Pauline I feel as though is already making a slow yet steady comeback, with her being in Super Mario Odyssey, making an appearance in Mario Golf Super Rush, and then of course having her own appearance in the Mario movie. This character is getting more and more prominent by the day. She's already in Mario Kart Tour, and if you really think about it, we only have a few girl characters in Mario Kart in the first place anyway, so adding her in definitely would not only provide more girl representation, but even then, she's an amazing character. I don't see why she cannot be here, and you could also even add in some sort of cool course with like New Donk City as part of the booster course pass. I don't want to get too far into like the courses they can add because that's not what this video is about. I don't really have a problem with any of the courses in Mario Kart, it's more so the characters, so I'm going to try to stay as true to that original idea I had here with this video. It's just a shame though, because like every single character I already listed, I feel as though could have easily made the original cut for this game, as they make it into Mario Kart Tour and are just, I don't know, somewhat prominent characters within the franchise, yet they were sidelined over characters like Baby Rosalina. Like, that just makes no sense to me. And I get they were trying to be obscure, but to be honest, I don't care about obscurity if I can't even get like the normal characters I'd love to see in the first place. Sometimes obscure just isn't better. Now, there's only 2 slots remaining for the Booster Course Pass, and I honestly think that these 2 characters should be Geno and Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, firstly, before you yell at me in the comment section explaining to me why I'm wrong, let me explain myself, and I have good reason for both of them. Now, with the Booster Course Pass releasing probably by the end of the year, or actually towards the end of the year, there's something else that releases towards the end of the year that could be great to promote it, and that would be Super Mario RPG. I feel like having Geno in this game, a character that basically everybody and their mom loves, would be a great idea because you not only get to promote the Booster Course Pass by having Geno in it, but you also get to promote the actual game, Super Mario RPG, by having a character that's exclusively in that game. And it's not like Nintendo hasn't added characters before to kind of promote other games, as that's kind of what happened with Splatoon, and I'd argue that's kind of what happened with Link with the Breath of the Wild outfit. Even though Breath of the Wild was kind of already released at that point, even still, I think that's kind of what happened here with those 3 characters. But I feel like that could easily happen here with a Mario representative character being Geno. Let me be clear, this isn't a prediction for what's going to happen, even though it very well could. It's still just a character I would love to see in this game, and if I was making the roster, it's a character that definitely would be. Now, as far as Sonic the Hedgehog goes, however, I will say this. As someone who makes videos about both Mario and Sonic, I want a Mario and Sonic crossover more than anything. So having Sonic show up in Mario Kart would not only make my day, but it'd be kind of exactly what I'm asking for. More or less, anyway, leaning towards less, but still, I feel as though Sonic would be a great character for this game for several reasons. Firstly, if you think about it, the last row of the Mario Kart roster is all characters that are already not part of the Mario universe. Splatoon, Zelda, and Animal Crossing, of course, is their own individual series. Although they are all owned by Nintendo, still, I feel as though Sonic could find his way in there just because Mario and Sonic have collaborated several times before, and also, if you think about it, Sonic was originally at least mentioned to be in a game like Mario Kart Double Dash, and there were talks that Mario was going to be in Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, but of course, neither of them happened. I think now would be the perfect time to have Sonic in a Mario Kart game, just because, I mean, it's basically what was kind of building up for before, but never happened. Is this likely? No. Do I want this more than any other character I've mentioned so far? Absolutely. I would love to see Sonic end up in Mario Kart more than basically any other character that anyone has ever proposed in the history of ever. In the off chance that someone from Nintendo or Sega hears this video, please hear my final plea. Add Sonic in the Mario Kart Booster Course Pass. It's all I want. It's what I made this video specifically for. I want Sonic in Mario Kart 8. That said, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to let me know in the comment section down below, and also like this video and subscribe to the channel. And also, it wouldn't hurt to turn the post notifications bell on, that way you never miss a video from me. You guys do not want to miss what I have to say. But anyway, with all that said and done, thank you again so much for watching. This is Sonic signing out. Have a super blessed day, y'all.
Why are you playing that trash?